after I've had to bloody go through. Not just with one of presents, but obviously United as well. What a bloody Christmas it's been. Honestly, what a bloody Christmas it has been. Okay, guys, good evening. Welcome back to the channel United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Hope you've all had a fantastic Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody. Hope you've all had a great Boxing Day, and I hope you're all looking forward to the new year with 2024 now very much upon all of us. First of all, do me a massive favour for me. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button, and remember to put the notification bell on as well at all times to receive dedicated content right throughout the rest of 2023 in these last few days on United Red Devils 20 for more Fortnite, Rocket League, EAFC 24, more previews, more match reactions, and more brand new stuff planned for the rest of these last few days in 23 and in 2024. New exclusive live content come into the channel as well. Welcome to your Premier League final score. Manchester United 3, Aston Villa 2 at Old Trafford this evening on match day 19 of the 23-24 Premier League season. What a comeback, what a game, what a victory for Manchester United. How we won that game today, I honestly do not know. And please subscribe to the channel and the community if you're new, by the way, and hit the like button on this video. But please subscribe to the channel. A massive shout out to Bristol City FC for life in the live chat. What a comeback from Manchester United. What a win. And I honestly do not know how we came back from 2-0 down after what was a really, really shit first half at Old Trafford. 2-0 down in 26 minutes. How the hell Man United came back from what was an abysmal, pathetic and embarrassing first half performance for Manchester United. I honestly do not know how we got across the finish line tonight. I do not know how we won that game. I don't know how we've just got that 3 points. But honestly, what a much needed victory to end the West Ham hoodoo after what we saw on Saturday afternoon. What a victory. What a comeback. And I honestly do not know how Manchester United have done it. Like, when you're 2-0 down in 26 minutes and you're literally back is against the wall and you're trying to find something from somewhere to try and get a consolation, a point, or even an unlikely victory, I honestly do not know how Manchester United got back into that game today the way we performed. I honestly do not know where that second half came from. I do not know where those goals come from, because after what happened in the first half, it looked like we were going to go another game without scoring a goal. And it looked like another bad Premier League result for Manchester United. But thankfully, we got the victory, we got the win, we got the points, and a victory on Boxing Day. Obviously, it's the first time these sides have ever met on Boxing Day in Christmas history. And yeah, it was just an absolute roller coaster of a game at Old Trafford. And obviously, it says in the title, Højlund scores the Old Trafford winner. Finally, Rasmus Højlund has got off to Premier League goal scoring form. At last, he has finally found the net in the Premier League. It has taken 19 Premier League games for Rasmus Højlund to find a goal. And thankfully today, he found it in the second half to get Manchester United over the line, secured another vital 3 points and another crucial victory to keep Erik ten Hag in at least another week in charge of this historic football club. I just honestly, after what we saw in that first half, did anyone expect Manchester United to come back from where we were? 2-0 down in 26 minutes, and you could tell the atmosphere inside Old Trafford was quiet, it was low, and it was becoming very, very toxic. More toxic than Britney Spears' song. Honestly, I've never seen Old Trafford as toxic as I've seen it in all my life. I have never seen it to have been as bad as what it was in those 26 minutes. It was absolutely dreadful performance in the first half. Aston Villa were whipping Manchester United into the shape. It was backs against the wall all first half long. And Aston Villa were putting Manchester United away. The way we've been performing in the last few games, I'm not surprised Aston Villa were on top. I'm not surprised by the tactics that Unai Emery deployed to get Aston Villa that 2-0 lead. But it was just defensively and shockingly how bad we are defending at the moment. Like, I can't beat around the bush how bad we've been. I can't, I can't give any credit to any of those players after what I saw in that first half. But suddenly, something changed in that second half. Something came from somewhere, and something managed to turn this game around. And I'm honestly thankful for where we've got the goal from, because it was looking like a very, very unlikely Manchester United performance. It was looking like a comeback wasn't going to happen, and it was looking like this was going to end in another bad Manchester United defeat. I just don't know where it came from. I honestly do not know where this performance came from, because I was not convinced we were going to get anywhere from where we've been in the last few weeks. Honestly, I just don't see how we got across the line. I honestly don't, because Aston Villa, to full credit, were much the better team, much better performance in the first half, and they were putting Manchester United away. Man United have no answer for that first half. They went out there, and I think Manchester United expected a Christmas Day victory. I think we expected to put the wrongs of West Ham right tonight, and I think for me, the Old Trafford atmosphere was pretty good in the first half. Like, before kickoff, it was electric. You could hear the noise at Old Trafford, and you could see that, you know, the fans were really behind the team tonight. They were behind the players, they were behind the manager, they were behind the squad. But I didn't expect Manchester United, you know, to concede two bad goals. And it's the same old mistakes, the same old errors that are costing Manchester United. And today, it did say a lot about our charisma. It did say a lot about our attitude. And it did say quite a lot about how the hell we came back from where we were. Like, let's talk about the first goal, by the way, and let's not beat around the bush. Like, how that John McGinn free kick, from where the free kick was taken from, was allowed to go all the way into the back of Onana's net, from where John McGinn took the free kick from. Manchester United players stood there like statues. Absolutely just stood there like no tomorrow. Basically, just, it's like we just let them have the lead. Like, there was no closing down the free kick. There was no trying to clear out the box. There was no trying to clear the ball away from Onana's goal. There was no interception from the cross. We just basically expected to clear this out quite quickly and expected to get the ball out of our area. But for me, like, we were standing there, like, we just let that ball go in. It's like United didn't even really try to get the ball away. It's like we just expected to clear this free kick, and we didn't expect John McGinn to, you know, score from where he scored from. And defensively, it's another shambolic goal to give away to Aston Villa. Like, you shouldn't be conceding from where John McGinn was in the first place. That is an unforgivable position in a game that, you know, we did look like we were going to find a goal. Like, I did think some of the opportunities we did have in the first half, Manchester United should and truly have put away. But as soon as, you know, Aston Villa get a very, very dangerous free kick, and you've got a quality player like John McGinn on the edge of the United penalty area, and you know what he can do in an Aston Villa team with a midfield that is pretty decent already at Aston Villa, due to Unai Emery's pull of a quality manager that Unai Emery is. John McGinn is a fantastic player, absolute fantastic player. And I didn't expect, you know, for him to go in. Like, I did not expect, you know, John McGinn to score from where he scored from, but absolutely fooled the Manchester United defence, fooled the back four, and basically fooled Onana massively. Like, I honestly did not expect us to concede. I did not expect us to be able to concede the goals we've been conceding, but I'm not surprised. Defensively, we are at times at 6s and 7s as a whole. We just don't defend as a team. We don't fight as a team. We were just looking around at each other thinking, how the hell that's gone in? And obviously there was a massive VAR appeal. There was a massive, you know, decision if this goal was going to be allowed. But I just don't know how Manchester United could have been able to have let that in from where they let that in from. It is such poor defending. And it's just, all together as a whole, Manchester United are nowhere near the level we need to be defensively. Like, you are back with Johnny Evans and Rafael Varane, and, you know, you look at it as a whole, that Manchester United really, the goal they conceded to get Villa the 1-0 lead, and Villa, you know, fair play to, you know, to get the goal where they got it from, but I honestly thought Manchester United would have responded quite quickly from going a goal down, because they know that the shit is really going to hit the fan if Man United concede again. And what happens a few minutes later is that Aston Villa get another dangerous corner in the Manchester United penalty area. And Clement Longley, who's on loan from Barcelona, I honestly do not know how, Villa have managed to pull him out of Barcelona on a season-long loan deal. But how was he allowed to, sit at the back post completely and utterly unmarked from a corner where Manchester United are meant to be keeping the ball out? Longley's been left completely unmarked. No one's around him, and he's got such clean space and clean air to be able to control the ball first time. Hits a first-time pass to Dendoncker, ex-Wolves reject, by the way. You never really should be jumping from Wolves to Aston Villa and Birmingham because they're all Midland clubs. And Longley has been left unmarked, and then Dendoncker, also in the United penalty area, has been left unmarked and puts it in cheekily with his right foot. His first ever goal for Aston Villa as a whole. Again, another Aston Villa player left unmarked in the United penalty area for Longley to get a quality assist. And again, the goal from Dendoncker is so cheeky that you didn't expect it to go in. But you look at how many of those Man United players were on the penalty line trying to keep the ball out of their net, and none of them stood to attention. Not really anyone tried to stop that from going in, because you've got the potential to give a penalty away, or a clear handball might be given as well. But bloody hell, I mean, I could not believe the defensive show of that team in the first half, and rightfully so, booed off at halftime, booed off in the first half, and rightfully so, because it was an absolute shit show. It was embarrassing, it was poor, it was pathetic. And I think at half-time, you're clearly thinking that writing's on the wall here for Ten Hag. How the hell are we going to be able to rescue this game? How are we going to be able to turn this around from the position that we are in? Because if you think about it logically, not the way we've been performing and the way we've been stepping up in the Premier League lately, would have anyone felt confident of coming back from 2-0 down to win 3-2? I'm going to hold my hands up here. I did not expect Manchester United to be able to find a winner. I didn't expect them to find a goal. I honestly expected Aston Villa to go on and score even more. That is what I thought was going to logically happen. The way Villa have been playing, tactically outclassing Ten Hag and his Man United troops, they were all over us. Like, it was so bad for Manchester United. I've never seen a performance like this in ages. Like, I thought the West Ham result was bad, and Newcastle and Bournemouth and Bayern and Liverpool. I honestly thought nothing can top from where we've been. But to be 2-0 down in 26 minutes, there's still 19 minutes, by the way, to find a goal before half-time to make it 2-1. But it didn't happen because Man United did not have it in them. And I don't know what happened in that second half, but something must have happened in the dressing room. The players must have been getting an absolute kick up the backside to, go out there and show what we're all about and try and rescue this game from the position we are in, or somehow try and rescue a point. Because you look at our front three, you're worried about Rasmus Højlund not finding a goal. You look at the way Antony and Garnacho have been playing in the last few United games, and you're worried about the injury problems again that have mounted up for Man United again tonight, because obviously Luke Shaw and Sofyan Amrabat both unavailable for Man United again tonight. And I've said time and time again about Luke Shaw that he's absolutely finished and he's not good enough to play for Manchester United. They gave him a brand new contract, 5 years. We're stuck with him till 2028. And you just wonder, like, how the hell are we going to be able to rescue this? Because 2-0's bad. If Aston Villa then find the third goal, Villa win this game quite comfortably and go on and win this game by an absolute counter, an absolute margin that, no one expected Manchester United to get themselves in. I did not expect to be 2-0 down in 26 minutes. I'm going to be completely honest here. I honestly thought after Saturday, things couldn't get worse. But when you're 2-0 down, when you've got 90 minutes remaining on the clock for the first half, I didn't see any response. I didn't see us trying to find a goal back. I didn't really see us create enough attacking opportunities to be able to get us a goal before half time, because you're going into the second half thinking you're 2-0 down here. You're going into that dressing room thinking, what the hell's going on here? I even asked saying to my parents, I don't know what the fuck's going on, because I'm not surprised we're performing the way we're performing. Defensively, we're a shambles. The midfield battle looks completely fucking lost. And as for the attack, you're worried because, Garnacho is being played out of position. Rashford has gone now 27 games without finding the back of the Old Trafford net. And then you worry about, Højlund hasn't scored either. You worry about where the hell are Manchester United going to be able to find a response? Where are Manchester United going to be able to find any sign of, we're going to turn this around, we are going to find a response, and we're going to attack this in the second half? And I think Villa, a credit to them, they concede a goal through Garnacho, which has been probably Rashford's best bit of all season, to find that assist to get Garnacho with his finish on his left foot to get us back in the game at 2-1. But then the response from Aston Villa again, they go straight up the other end and, create several big more opportunities to find the third goal. That if they make it 3-1, the game is completely dead. But all of a sudden, again, thank God that we've got a quality player like Garnacho turning up tonight. We honestly need some kind of response from him tonight, because the last few games I've just not seen the best of Garnacho. And I don't know why that is. I don't know why Garnacho has been struggling for goals since the Everton game. Maybe that wonder goal got to his head a little bit. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not really surprised by Garnacho, because obviously he's still quite young. He's still got quite a lot to learn. And I was surprised that after the Everton game that this confidence didn't hit up here, because that goal is the goal of the season by an absolute mile. But since then, Garnacho has not been the same player. But obviously tonight, we needed to create opportunities. We needed to score goals. And I think, full credit again for Manchester United to be able to not let Aston Villa get the 3-1 lead, because if they score the third, the game's gone. We know Manchester United have lost another Premier League game, and it would have been one win in nearly 7 games for Manchester United in the month of December, which has been still our worst run since 1930. And another stat that was revealed today, that this has probably been our worst run of fixtures and our worst run of games since 1962, when Sir Matt Busby was in charge. So you don't think, anything can get any worse. The Christmas period's been shit for Manchester United. We should have found, plenty of wins and plenty of points from somewhere to be able to get us moving up that Premier League table, because it's not a comfortable position we're in. We're nowhere near top 4. Let's be really honest about where we are. We're not going to get Champions League football at the rate we are playing at. And I don't expect us to even win a trophy, because I think, the trophies are gone. I can't see Manchester United winning a trophy this season, the way we are performing as a whole. It's simply not there from that club. I don't think the players have got it in them to be able to turn this really shit season around. And I think Ten Hag was fearing the worst at half-time, because you are 2-0 down at Old Trafford. We made Old Trafford such a fortress last season. And you would have thought we would have kept on improving our home record and keeping that home record intact. But this month has been a bad month. In every game we've had, we have had too many old mistakes, the same old errors, the same old problems. And what really fucks me off is that these players just don't seem up for it when we go a goal down. I don't know why we struggle when we go 1-0 down. I don't know why the heads drop. I don't know why the morale drops, because it's only one. But to concede 2, the players are on the floor. They're absolutely gone. Their game's gone. Their heads are gone. The morale's dropped. But I was expecting Aston Villa to go on and score more. I think Unai Emery is going to be disappointed. I think tactically he outclassed Ten Hag in the first half. I think, Aston Villa massively showed up to the party and surprised Old Trafford with the commanding lead they had. I really think Aston Villa are going to do big things under Unai Emery if they carry on playing the way they are, because they're scoring a lot of goals. They're making a lot of problems for the opposition. And they've got some big players that are scoring a lot of goals now. But I think where it didn't go quite right from Aston Villa is the perspective of, first of all, the Garnacho first goal that he scored, that he went round Emilio Martinez, it's not offside. Let's not beat around the bush about this. The Garnacho first goal is not offside. It's not offside. He is not ahead of the ball, ahead of Rashford. He's not ahead of the play. He's not ahead of the pass that Rashford's made. And he's not ahead of Rashford as a whole when Rashford's on the left. Garnacho's onside. Like, VAR was brought in to improve the English game of football. It was meant to bring and improve football. It was meant to improve the game we all love. I think VAR has come into football and it has ruined it. Like, I honestly thought VAR would have been a lot more expansive, a lot more fair. I think VAR really, in my view, are not being fair. I don't think VAR has improved the game of football. I do not think VAR has done a lot for us. I do not think VAR has improved the game. The Garnacho first goal is not offside. It is not offside. How VAR have managed to give that as a disallowed goal and given Garnacho offside, it beggars belief. It honestly does for me. It's not offside. And, Garnacho does take the goal very well. And, Emiliano Martinez's position as a goalkeeper is very, very poor. You should not be letting, a quality, quick player like Garnacho go around you. You should have, stood up to the task and got the ball off Garnacho and basically shown that you're not going to let him go around you and be so versatile to Garnacho's attack. But I think where it went wrong then, soon as Garnacho then got the goal, which he finally scored to get United back into the game, and he kept himself onside, fair play to him. A brilliant timed run from, Garnacho to find from the through ball that Rashford deployed. But I think, it was a well-taken goal. And both finishes tonight have been on his left foot. And, traditionally, Garnacho is right-footed. And you don't expect a lot of goals from Garnacho on the left to be able to cause Manchester United a threat. Like, Garnacho scores a lot of goals with his right foot. And Garnacho is expected to do a job on his right foot. But tonight we saw a different style of Garnacho that, really, really inspired the Manchester United comeback. And, I think that's where Villa's head went. Like, as soon as they conceded, it's backs against the walls now. We are going to expect a full Manchester United onslaught. And that is the onslaught they got because Villa couldn't keep us out after that. Villa could not keep the chances down. The midfield went, their defence went. Aston Villa at times today were absolutely at 6s and 7s that second half. I've never seen them crumble as much as I've seen them because Aston Villa, to be fair to them, have been really, really good this season. Aston Villa have been a magnificent side to watch. They've been a magnificent team under Unai Emery to watch play. But in the last few games, I am seeing the cracks. I am seeing the mistakes. I am seeing the same old problems that Gerrard faced. And Gerrard ended up facing the sack and got the sack. And I think under Unai Emery, if he's not careful, and I don't think Aston Villa are in trouble, by the way, you are going to get either top 4 or top 6 this season. You are a fantastic, well-run, oiled machine club. But I think, where it went wrong for Villa today, and where I'm going to say where I think the problems have been from an Aston Villa point of view is they couldn't get the ball to Ollie Watkins. They couldn't get the ball to Leon Bailey enough. And I think for me, Diaby, who has been probably a very, very impressive signing since they got him from Bayer Leverkusen, not in the team tonight, not on the bench tonight, and nowhere to be seen. And I think he's injured. I'm not 100% sure, but I think Aston Villa really, really lack a second striker. I think for me, Leon Bailey's not really hitting the heights I thought he was going to hit today. But, I think that was down to that we had two tall, versatile centre-backs playing at centre-back, keeping, Ollie Watkins and Leon Bailey quiet. And I think that is where it kind of went wrong. I don't think Villa could get the ball to Watkins. They couldn't get the ball to Leon Bailey enough to be able to create enough Aston Villa attacking opportunities. And I think that is where Manchester United were able to keep them out. And I think for me, full credit to, Varane and Johnny Evans for managing to do that in the second half. Soon as that happens, you think to yourself, do you know what? Anything's possible here. If you get the first goal, you're back in the game. You are back in the game. And full credit to get the first goal. But for then, Villa to concede such a bad second half goal as well, to make it 2-2, you're then thinking, right, anything's possible now. Because Garnacho, another great, great finish from Garnacho to make it 2-2. Another finish on his left foot and full credit for hitting the shot first time as well. That is what you call a goal scoring intent. That is what you call a goal scoring impact. And I still believe in Garnacho. He's going to be a great, great player. But I think at times, he can be frustrating. He can be a little bit arrogant. He can be a little bit selfish with the ball. But today, we finally managed to, get some goals out of him that we were desperately searching for, because otherwise Manchester United are in a lot of trouble, because if they don't find the equaliser, that clock's going to tick down a lot more quicker than what people are going to anticipate. And I think for me, at 2-2, Aston Villa lost it. They lost the dominance, they lost the play, they lost the ball, they lost the possession. Aston Villa dominated us. I'm not going to beat around the bush about this. Aston Villa dominated Manchester United as a whole today. They did play the better football, and at times, that is what you call a well-run club, by the way. That is what you call a club that gets the backing of the manager. That is what you call a football club that are doing things properly. This is what you call a football club that are running as a ship. This is what you get from a club. That is what you get from a club that, are significantly run way much better than what Man United are. And I think for me, Man United should be taking note of that. And what annoyed me in the second half before kickoff is I managed to watch the game because I'm not letting, Amazon Prime ruin my Christmas festive football. I'm not missing any Manchester United game today. I think for me, one of the most arrogant and most stupid points that they make is, and everyone is getting really excited by it, and I'm going to bring it up because when you know what I'm going to say, it's regarding the ownership, that all of a sudden, under Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sir Dave Brailsford, everything's going to be fine now. Everything's going to be better. Manchester United are going to be a better team. Man United are going to get back to winning ways on the pitch. Manchester United are going to deliver success. Man United will deliver trophies. They'll back the manager. They'll build a state-of-the-art elite stadium. They will be a better club now. Once Sir Jim Ratcliffe gets rid of John Murtough and Richard Arnold, builds a new state-of-the-art stadium, gets the players the manager wants, backs Eric Ten Hag, and they're absolutely laughing it up. And you think to yourself, I don't know what crap you've been watching or what you've been told or what you're listening to, but Sir Jim Ratcliffe has got in bed with the Glazers, has kept these prats in charge of the ownership. They're still here running this club deeper and deeper into abyss, right? And Sir Jim Ratcliffe is basically agreed a 25% minority stake in Manchester United, but apparently he's going to be allowed to make ruthless and difficult decisions and being a bit more, we want to get the success back. We need to bring Man United success on the pitch. We need to bring the trophies. We can bring in the players. We can back the manager. We're going to do things in the right way. We're going to bring a proper strategy with a proper transfer team. We're going to do things properly now. We're going to have proper people running the football inside of the operations. I don't believe any of this bullshit. This club is going to get worse under the Glazers because the debt is still there. Old Trafford is rotting. Old Trafford is falling down. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, all this hype has got to stop. We will not get anywhere under Sir Jim Ratcliffe with the Glazers because he is another Glazer. He stood by the Glazers, gave them the percentage minority stake that they wanted, has kept those prats in charge, and basically shout on the fans, shout on the supporters, and basically said, we will hear what you want us to say, but apart from that, what you've been told we're going to do is going to be a load of bullshit, and the club will keep falling and falling and falling deeper and deeper into the ground. And the hole's going to get bigger. That hole is going to get a hell of a lot bigger with Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the Glazers working together to destroy this club. I do not trust Sir Jim Ratcliffe. I do not trust the Glazers. I am never going to. They have run this club for 18 fucking years into the ground, taken money out of the club, put us into the biggest debt ever. And then they've got into bed with Sir Jim Ratcliffe. They've had a bit of a hanky-panky session and basically agreed on a minority stake, thinking, do you know what? You can come in, but we want to stay. We can give you a certain percentage of the club, but apart from that, you will be allowed to make the decisions you make. You can get rid of Richard Arnold and you can get rid of John Murtough, right? But the bigger problem is you're dealing with us and you're still going to have to go through us for players, transfer strategy in the summer and in January. You're going to have to be dictated by what we tell you to do. And basically, Sir Jim Ratcliffe is just a glazer on a string, basically. I don't trust it, and I'm never going to. Manchester United will get worse under Sir Jim Ratcliffe. They will get worse under the Glazers because they're working together to destroy this club completely. And everyone thinks there's going to be instant success on the pitch. Everyone thinks that Manchester United are going to get better and better now. Proper football structure, proper players, proper coaching, proper football people on the football operations. Things are going to be influential on and off the pitch to make Manchester United Football Club better. It is the biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard in my life. That today is apparently a well-run, oiled football club at Manchester United. So Dave Brailsford, who has got nothing to do with football, who coached the Olympic team for the cycling, right? And he's been brought in on the football side of things to help run Man United. And it's like, why? Like, I don't get why you're doing this, because the clubs are already in a lot of shit. This club's a joke on and off the pitch. We're lucky we've won today. I don't know where that comeback came from. I don't know how we've won that game. I don't know how we've won. I don't know how we beat Villa with the position that they got themselves in. They're 2-0 fucking up. And Man United somehow have found something from somewhere to win. And, you know, like I said in the title, Højlund has finally scored his first Premier League goal to get Man United that win in the second half in the penalty area, because it's come from a Man United corner. Something we've been struggling to do all fucking season is to get that ball to Højlund to score the goals that he needs to finally get off the mark in the Premier League. Because if you think to yourself, if he goes another game today and he doesn't score, we are in big problems, because you've got a striker who has got the weight of the world on his shoulders. The pressure is an immense level at the moment. And you think to yourself, if he doesn't score today, we're going to be in a lot of shit. We are going to be in deep, deep trouble if we cannot get Højlund the goals eventually, because he's already got enough pressure. He's got the world on his shoulders, and he's only 20, right? And you think to yourself, we can't keep doing this to a young player like this. We cannot keep destroying a world-class players like Højlund every week if we don't get the ball to him. And that is something we've been struggling all season with. We have not been getting the ball to Højlund enough. We have not been giving the ball to Højlund with certain runs he makes on and off the ball. And I think the goal comes about from a Man United corner, by the way. The ball has, fallen nicely off John McGinn, by the way. Bit of an ironic moment for John McGinn when you give Villa the 1-0 lead and you bottle it. The ball bounces off John McGinn and it falls nicely to Højlund, and he's hit it first time. And he's leaning back, which puts more power and more finesse on the shot of his left foot, which buries off, Martinez's right-hand post into the back of the Old Trafford net. And you think to yourself, hallelujah, because otherwise this game has got a draw written all over it. And a point wouldn't have been enough. I'm sorry, I would not have said, the way we were looking, it was going to look great, because we were going to struggle to find points. We were going to struggle to find wins. We were going to struggle to find something from somewhere if we do not win this game. If we don't win this game, United are in a lot of shit. United are going to struggle to find anything. United will really, really struggle to come out of anything out of this game today. And I think for me, count themselves lucky. That's all I'm going to say. I think this luck win today is down to pure luck. Nothing more than pure, utter luck. It was not a good performance. It was a bang average performance. United were not at the races today, and Villa have let them off the hook. Villa have let Man United off the hook today. If Villa score a third, the game is gone. Villa win the game and they're level on points with Liverpool in a potential title race. After today, I'm still saying Villa will finish above Manchester United. I still think they will. Because if they would have won that game, they are 12 points ahead of Manchester United. 12 points ahead of Manchester United. United have got off lightly. They have really, really got off lightly with finding that late winner. Because if this finishes a draw, I'm not going to be impressed by, at least we got a point. At least it's something from nothing. At least Manchester United have not lost. Yeah, if we would have lost that game today, I am telling you now, Erik ten Hag would have been out the door by tomorrow. I think Erik ten Hag, something happened in that second half in that dressing room. Something was said or something must have happened to integrate that comeback, because the way we started the game, the way we were dominated on and off the ball, the way we couldn't deal with the Aston Villa attacks, the way that Aston Villa midfield was running so easily, and their defence didn't have any big time issues to deal with. Aston Villa deserved that 2-0 lead at half-time. You have to give them credit. They were the better team. And I think the better team today lost. I really think the better team lost. And I feel for those Villa fans. I feel for those Villa supporters because I've got a friend who is a massive Aston Villa fan, by the way. I mean, his name's Lion, and massive shout out to him. He's going to be gutted because we know we respect each other and we know we support both teams, and we knew we were playing each other today. And there's always going to be that rivalry. There's always going to be that banter, but there's always respect there. And he'll be gutted they've lost because the way Villa played, they could have scored 6 or 7 in that first half. They could have scored 6 or 7 because Manchester United were just sat back trying to break Aston Villa on the counter-attack. That is what we've been trying to do against West Ham and Bournemouth and Newcastle and Bayern and Liverpool. Every game since Chelsea, we have tried to break every team on the counter-attack. Against Chelsea, we battered them because of how badly Chelsea are run by Mauricio Pochettino. Since then, the football seems to have changed. The dynamics don't seem to be there anymore. And we are basically trying to break every team on the counter-attack when we get the opportunity to do. If you're Manchester United, you need to be at the full throttle. You need to be attacking every opportunity that you are getting. So, Manchester United can, you can say what a great win and what a great comeback, and at least finally Højlund scored in the Prem. But you have got to think to yourself, bloody hell, did Man United get lucky in that second half with some of the goals they had? Because obviously the second Garnacho goal, it takes a slight deflection off one of the Aston Villa back four. It takes a slight deflection of the ball to end past Martinez. And then the third goal, John McGinn, if the ball doesn't fall off him, Højlund ain't there. He ain't scoring that goal. This game ends in a draw. But thank God Højlund's in the right place at the right time to finally score, because if that ball doesn't go in and he skies it or misses it, that Old Trafford crowd are going to be on him like a rash. They would have been on him like a rash. And it could have been a lot worse today. It could have been a hell of a lot worse, because I didn't see anything in that first half from any of those players. The midfield is still massively overrun. The defence is shambolic. The front three were woeful. And I don't think it helped by putting Garnacho on the left. I don't think it helped at all in that first half. I think Manchester United are a better team without Rashford in that team. I don't know how he can justify starting today's game. I don't know what Erik ten Hag must have seen in training or from Rashford in recent games or in recent weeks to integrate him back into that team. What did Rashford do in that first half? Had 1 or 2 shots on goal, both missed, both really should have scored both the opportunities he had. And I think for me, Rashford we are a better team without him. And I'm really sorry. I think the Rashford bias has got to end now. I think Manchester United need to get rid of him out of this team, because otherwise we are going to be in the position we find ourselves in again next season, where we have got the same frustrating Marcus Rashford on the left wing trying to do all the work. He is selfish with the ball. 1 goal in 27 to 28 games. And this is your answer. 2 goals in 27 to 28 games so far for Manchester United Football Club this season. That isn't good enough. That isn't great enough. That is a poor stat from a player like Rashford that does have the quality, but somehow, like I said, has suffered massive burnout, is knackered from last season, obviously is carrying an injury, and obviously is not trying to overwork the work rate he had last season, and is trying to rely on the others around him to do the work for him. That's laziness, that's arrogance, and that's cockiness. And I think for me as well, the midfield battle, again, I said this about Eriksen, I said this about Manu, and I said this about Fernandes. If anyone was going to, make that midfield better, Eriksen, he ain't got the speed anymore. He hasn't got the energy. He hasn't got that, those runs in him anymore. He hasn't got the speed in him to be able to make attacking opportunities. He can't keep up anymore. And that's not Eriksen's fault, by the way. Age is catching up to him, and the game of the Premier League is getting a lot quicker with a lot more faster tempo. He can't keep up. He can't keep up against these younger centre-backs from the opposition. He can't make any more integrated runs towards the opposition penalty area. He can't control the midfield because, he can't work with Fernandes, and it doesn't work with Manu behind him. And Man United need better. Simple as that, really. I think Man United need to look at that midfield in January and even in next summer, because I think without Amrabat and Casemiro and Mount, who are better players technically than Christian Eriksen, I think for me as a whole, Eriksen, Fernandes, it ain't working in that midfield, and it was getting overrun by that Aston Villa midfield. We could not control that game as a whole. We could not offer any control as a whole today. And I think, Manchester United really, you've got to really look at yourselves as a team and think to yourself, do you know what? You've won 3-2, but you've won only just. And you've got to count yourselves thinking, do you know what? Bloody hell. And I tell you what, after tonight and today, what I've been through on Boxing Day, I've needed this. First drink ever for a long time since, I think the last drink I had was in 2018, but because it's special time at the end, it's Christmas and Boxing Day, I fucking needed this today. I don't drink, only drink on special occasions. And I think for me, after what I've had to go through today, I'm not even going to go what I went through because it was just been horrific. And I think United did not help the mood. United were not helping when they went 2-0 down. When they went 2-0 down, I was like, you so-and-sos, you absolute useless. Yeah. I'm not surprised the way we've been playing. Like, there's been no confidence, there's been a lack of attitude, and there's been a lack of commitment all season long from those players. There's been laziness, there's been arrogance, there's been cockiness, and they've let this fans and supporters down massively during this Premier League season and in Europe as well in the Champions League. That's why we're out. And we are now relying on a Premier League comeback to get into the top four. We are relying on trying to get back in Europe for next season if we can. And basically all we've got left now is the FA Cup in January, which is not going to be easy either. So United have got themselves in a really difficult position the way we've been playing. But thank God we had Højlund to rescue the game, because him and Garnacho were probably the best two players all game. Standout players that, rescued this sinking ship. You've got to think yourself, if Villa find that third goal, the game is done. You've lost again. And if it finishes 3-0 at full-time at Old Trafford, it is going to be as toxic as anything. And you fear and worry for Ten Hag's future. You worry for him as a manager, and you worry about what is a big next step if Manchester United sack him. I still think we do need to improve, and we do need to find better players, because I don't think these players have got the energy. I don't think these players have got the commitment. I don't think these players care. But somehow the youngsters got us out of trouble. The youngsters got us out of trouble. And what I mean by that is, you look at the age of Garnacho, you look at the age of Rasmus Højlund. They were Man United's two best standout players. And you look at the rest of that team, where's the inspiration? Where is the encouragement coming from? Because you look at that team, Diallo ain't good enough at left back when he ain't a left back. But again, due to an injury-prone Luke Shaw, am I surprised Diallo's playing at left back? And they gave Luke Shaw a 5-year deal, a brand new contract till 2028. Another mastermind genius plan for Man United to keep an overrated and injury-prone left back that is no longer good enough. And again, today, he's out that team. And today we could have done with a proper left back at left back. And we didn't have one. We did not have a left back at left back. We are deploying Diallo. Again, how bad was he defensively? We don't need to talk about how bad he is, because I know how bad Diallo is. I saw it all 90 minutes, how crap Diallo actually was. It was a really, really bad defensive performance from Diallo. Him at left back don't work. And I don't know why all of a sudden, what's Reguilon done to be out this team? Can anyone, pinpoint why Reguilon's not in this Man United team? Why is Reguilon not playing regular football for this Man United side at left back, where we could have done with it? Why is he not in that team? My suspicions are growing. My suspicions are growing that we're going to send him back to Spurs in January. And I think if you keep Diallo and Wan-Bissaka over Reguilon, you are making a massive mistake. You are making a massive, massive mistake. Reguilon is a proper left back, traditional left back that gets up and down the flanks of the left back player, the position he plays in. Luke Shaw ain't good enough anymore and is always injured, and you want to keep him over Reguilon. It's the same for Malacia. Malacia should not be at Manchester United anymore. He should not be here. Neither Luke or Malacia, neither of them should be Man United players anymore. I am sick to death of it. We are better without them. And as for the back four, we are relying on Varane because Johnny Evans' age is limited. His time is coming up on his footballing career. And as for Wan-Bissaka, why was Solskjaer ever allowed to sanction 50 million for Wan-Bissaka when he was a United manager? And for me, the respect for Solskjaer and the history, that's gone now. That's dead in the water. He's ruined our club due to him being our manager. He ruined his legacy. That 99 Champions League winner to win the treble, forget that. We're in 2024 nearly. Forget the history. We need to be looking at the now. Lita looking at the future. Wan-Bissaka should have never been brought. Never been brought. Again, defensively, we play the ball back way more times than getting the ball forward. We keep playing the ball back. And no wonder we don't score enough goals. No wonder we can't put chances away because we're too busy doing what Louis van Gaal did. And Solskjaer was doing this. And I've seen it in Ten Hag's performance this season. The amount of times we play that ball back and getting the ball forward. Is anyone surprised we're in the mess we're in? When we're not scoring enough goals, when we're not creating enough goal-scoring opportunities. No wonder Højlund's been starved to service. No wonder Garnacho and Antony have not been getting the ball to Rasmus because that back four can't get the ball forward to the midfield. They can't defend and can't clear away. They can't defend from the opposition attacking them. And they can't really do their job they've been told is to keep that ball out of Onana's net. And Onana's positioning for both goals is terrible. He's moved way too forward. He's moved way too right in his position in goal to the second goal and for a Den Donker tap in for a cheeky, right-footed back heel into the back of the Old Trafford and make it 2-0. But the first goal as well, he should be coming out to claim that. He should be coming out to clear that ball away. And he just stands there and lets his defenders try and do it when that back falls shit. So, count yourselves lucky that Højlund to the rescue has rescued Manchester United because Garnacho and Højlund, for me, are our only hope. And I'm sorry to say it's true. Garnacho and Højlund are Manchester United's only hope of success. The rest of that midfield, well, you've basically got Manu because Fernandes has been non-existent since Chelsea. Eriksen, for me, he ain't got the legs anymore. Manu, again, another young player like Rasmus Højlund, 18 years of age, got the pressure of the world on his shoulders, trying to play week in, week out and give great performances in the Man United shirt. And then you've got Garnacho and Højlund, who are your best source of goals. And when they're both getting starved of, the ball and not getting the opportunities they need to get, you do wonder why Man United are not in the top four. Well, if we would have had goal scorers and wingers that are not selfish with the ball, like Antony and Sancho and Rashford, and, we had a Harry Kane or an Osman with Højlund who could learn off them, we might not be in the position we are in today. And that, again, is down to, Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the Glazers, who are going to have to spend some money in January. And apparently, it's going to be Sir Jim Ratcliffe's money being put into the club. Bullshit. More like more money to put on top of the debt. Don't believe all this hype that we're going to turn things around. Don't believe that, Sir Jim Ratcliffe's going to be the saviour of this football club. He's working with the Glazers. He got into bed with them. He had hanky-panky with Joel and Avram Glazer and agreed a deal for a minority stake when he doesn't even want full control. He ain't going to get full control of that club. Not while Joel and Avram Glazer are still around. Not a chance. But today, like I said, we've won. We've got a Christmas win. We could have done one before Christmas, and we could have, like we said, we've won today. If you give a man of the match to anyone or player of the match, I was going to give it to the fans, and I was going to give the supporters after what we saw in that first half. But for Garnacho and Højlund to score the goals that they've scored today to get us those 3 points, thank God they both play in a Man United shirt. That's all I'm going to say. So I hope you enjoyed the reaction, the Premier League reaction. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button, and remember to always remember to put that notification bell on at all times so you receive dedicated content in these last few days in 2023. On United Red Devils 20 on YouTube, we've got more Fortnite coming up, EA Sports FC 24, Rocket League, Fall Guys, F1 24, more previews, more match reactions. 2 or 3 brand new games coming in January and in February, so look out for them as well. And then obviously we'll be doing the Nottingham Forest preview in the early hours of Friday morning, so look out for that. Next preview for our next Premier League game will be Nottingham Forest versus Man United for the Saturday evening game. Look out for that in the early hours of Friday morning. Enjoy the rest of your Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody. And enjoy the rest of your Boxing Day. You're all amazing. You're all legends. You're all legendary. You're all amazing people. Thanks for the support this year. And hopefully we'll get a win again on Saturday. And then by Monday we'll be celebrating because it'll be 2024. You're all legends. I'll see you on the next one.